Let's start with our alignment. Let's have a look at how we're standing. So let's have feet hip width apart. And then have a look at the outside edges of your feet and get those guys as straight as you can. So notice if one's turning out or one's forwards of the other. And then back your weight up. So you've got your weight back through your heels. Finding a neutral pelvis, so we're not tucking under and we're not tipping forwards. It's just upright, so hip bones and pubic bone are on the same level. Let your ribs just relax down. Don't pull them down. Let them just relax down. Nice and wide through your chest and shoulders. Arms down by your sides, looking into the distance and growing super tall through the crown of your head. Let's take some deep breaths here. So getting as much air in as you can on your inhale. And fully exhale and just letting it all go. Let's do that a couple more times. Really deep breath in. And a long, slow exhale. One more time. And then fully exhale. Let's just shift our weight around a little bit. Can you shift your hips all the way to one side as far as they'll go? And then shift to the other side as far as they'll go. Let's just do that a couple of times, shifting from one side to the other. How about if we shift our hips all the way forwards? It might feel like a stretch through the front of your hips, and then shift back. Let's do that again, shifting your hips forwards and back. We spend so much time with that bent hip position that sometimes even just shifting your pelvis forwards, thinking about tucking your bottom is enough to give a stretch through the front of your hips. And then let's go around in a little circle. So we're going to shift our hips all the way to one side. Bring your hips all the way forwards. Take them to the other side and take them back. Let's go. Big circle. Trying to get as much movement there as you can. If you think about your thigh bone in your hip socket, moving around in that hip socket. And then can you reverse that and go the other way? Again, you're really trying to push out as far as you can. Good, one last time. And then as you come in through center this time, we're going to come back into our normal position. Let's have feet hip width apart. We're going to do some heel raises now. So rising up onto the balls of your feet and then lowering down with control. Do that again, rising up onto the balls of your feet and lowering down with control. Let's do a couple more here. Watching for your ankles trying to roll out. We're going to keep our ankles super straight. Let's add some arms with this next one. So as you inhale, reach your arms to the ceiling as you rise up onto the balls of your feet. As you exhale, lower your hands, lower your heels. Let's do that again. Inhale, let's rise up. Circle and exhale as we lower. One more this way. And exhale as you lower. We're going to just reverse the arms this time. So as you inhale, we're going to circle the arms out to the side and reach up to the ceiling. And exhale, arms are just going to come down through the front as you lower your heels. Let's go. Inhale, reach, grow tall. And exhale, lower. One more time. And lower. So we're going to be really using the breath today. We're going to take our legs wide into that wide squat position and turning your toes out to the sides. Just find your happy squat place. Just make sure that you aren't going too low, making sure that your knees aren't rolling in. We want to think about the knees turning out, if anything, towards your little toes. So let's just do a few little squats here. Getting everything moving, making sure that we're happy with that. And then we're going to do our little squat arm series. All right, so as you come to standing this time, we're going to hold it there. We're going to interlace our fingers, elbows stay tight in by your sides, and inhale as you reach the palms to your chin. Exhale, turn the hands over, press your palms down as you squat down. Inhale, sweep the arms forwards and up towards the ceiling, and then exhale as we release the hands and come back to your start position. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, press and squat. Inhale, sweep forwards and up, and exhale, release. Just do a couple more, go at your own pace. Enjoy it, stretch, let your body feel good. And then as you come down this time, we're going to stay down. We're going to have a little play with our tree balance now. So bringing your feet back into hip width. Take a moment to just spread and lift all of your toes and then place your feet down onto the floor. Do that again. Spread and lift your toes and place them down. Really anchoring your feet down into the floor. Do that one more time. Spread your toes, lift and place them down. Really feeling anchored and grounded into the floor. We're going to find a tree position that works for you. So remember, you've got different options. You can have your toes on the floor, your heel just above your ankle. If your balance isn't great today, you can have that foot a little bit higher, resting on the inside of your shin, or you can come higher still, up to your knee, above your knee, on your side, wherever. Okay, but find a position that works for you, and then have a look to see whether your pelvis has gone all skew-if. Can you try and find that level pelvis and hold? Now you can come out of this at any time. You can kind of switch around, switch positions if you want to. We're going to stay here and take some breaths. How about if you bring your hands together? Can you still hold here? If you need to tap your foot down, then feel free. Let's add some arm movements here. So as you inhale, release your hands. We're going to circle the arms out and up towards the sky, bringing your hands together overhead, and then bring your hands down through center. Do that again. Inhale as you open out. Reach. Hands come together. Down through center. Let's do one more like that. Ooh. And come down through center. And then when you're ready, release that leg. Give your legs a little shake out. And we're going to do the same on the other side. So again, pick your position. It might be completely different one side to the other. You can always go near a wall or grab a chair if you need to. Find the position that works for you. Check your pelvis. Hold it there, a few breaths. How about if you bring your hands together? How are we there? So you can stay in any of these positions. You don't have to add the arms if you don't want to. But if you're happy with the arms, let's inhale. Open the arms out, reaching up towards the sky, bringing your hands together and then coming down through center. Let's do that again as you inhale, open out, reach, hands come together and down through center. One more time. Really nice. And when you're ready, release. Give your legs a little shake out. Good. We're just going to do some little shoulder rolls next. So let's just move our shoulders around. Getting as much movement there as you can. Taking those deep breaths. Let's reverse the shoulders. Let's go the other way. All right. So we're going to do some kind of a little series of movements where we're going to come up and down from the floor a little bit. Feel free to rest at any time if you need to. I'm going to have our feet hip width apart. And as you inhale, you're going to open your arms out and reach up towards the ceiling. So reach your arms high up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, you're going to fold forwards and open your arms out and come all the way down towards the mat. Let your head hang, let your arms hang. You can bend your knees here, so a little softening. Just nod your head, shake your head, just to show that there's no tension and no tightness through your neck. On your next inhale, we're going to come just to a flat back position. So slide your hands up your thighs, up your shins, wherever you want to get to, and find that flat back position. And then as you exhale, you're just going to round forwards again. Let your knees just be soft. As you inhale, I want you to think about really rooting your feet down into the floor, and then we're going to start to roll ourselves all the way back up, and we're going to open our arms out and up towards the ceiling. Open the arms out, and we're going to fold forwards and round all the way down. Again, soft knee, little loosening of shoulders, arms, head. As you inhale, slide your hands up your legs, find that flat back position. Exhale, rounding down again. And inhale, root down through your feet and rise up. Opening your arms out, stretching up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, let's go one more time like this, folding forwards, arms open out and round all the way down. As you inhale, slide your hands up your legs, find that flat back position. And as you exhale, rounding forwards again. Inhale, root down through your feet and rise up tall, reaching up towards the ceiling. Bring your hands together in that prayer position overhead, and then as you exhale, just bring your hands down through centre. Nice. Okay. So we're going to come down onto the mat, but we're going to use that to bring us down towards the mat. Okay. So I'm going to step forwards a little bit. I hope you can see me okay. All right, so we're going to do the same thing. As you inhale, we're going to open the arms out and reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale, open your arms out, forward fold, and round all the way down. Inhale, let's come up to that half position, flat back position. Exhale, rounding down. Now, get your hands down onto the floor. Bend your knees as much as you need to get your hands down onto the floor. And we're going to step one leg back. We're going to come down into a plank. Step one leg back. Step your other leg back. And then come down onto your knees so that you're on all fours. Okay, all fours. We're going to do our rhomboid push-ups here. Shoulder blades squeeze together. And then shoulder blades press super wide. Shoulder blades squeeze together. And shoulder blades super wide. Keep going. Good. As you press your shoulder blades wide, this time we're going to keep the shoulder blades wide. We're going to step one leg back into a plank position. We're going to step the other leg back into a plank position. We're going to pike our bottom up towards the ceiling into that downward dog, and we're going to pedal our feet here. So bending one knee at a time, just pedal your feet. And then we're going to walk our feet towards our hands. So walking your feet towards your hands, bend your knees as much as you need to find yourself in that forward fold position again and just hang here. We're going to inhale, we're going to find that halfway position, that flat back position, and we're going to exhale and then round down again. Inhale, root through your feet and rise towards the sky, opening your arms out, reach your arms towards the ceiling, bring your hands together in that prayer position overhead, and then exhale just to bring your hands down through centre. And release. We're going to do that again. We're going to go down to the floor and come back up again. Are you ready? Inhale, open your arms out, reach up towards the sky. Exhale, open your arms out, forward fold, all the way down. Soften your knees. Inhale, find your flat back position, and exhale to hang forwards again. Bringing your hands down, bend your knees. You're going to again step back into that plank position, one leg, two legs into plank. And then you're going to just come down onto your knees again. We're going to do our forearm push-ups this time. Fingers wide, elbows pits forwards, bending your elbows and straightening. So remember, with your forearm push-ups, your elbows don't go out to the sides, they point towards your knees. Two more. Alright, as you come up this time, we're going to find that plank position again. Taking your leg back, tuck your toes under, one leg, two leg. Pike your bottom towards the ceiling for your downward facing dog and pedal your feet again. We're going to walk our feet forwards, coming back into that forward fold position, just hang here. Inhale, find that halfway position, flat back. Exhale, rounding down. Inhale, root down through your feet and rise to the sky, opening your arms out, bring your hands together overhead, and then exhale, hands come down through centre and release. We're going to do that again. When you're ready, inhale, open your arms out, reach up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, open the arms, forward fold, all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, rounding down. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Step back into your plank position. And then down onto your knees. All right. Now from here, we're going to come down onto our elbows. Okay, so elbow down, back onto your hand, back onto your hand. Again, elbow, 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 hand, hand. All right, staying up. We're going to go back into our plank. Take one leg back, take the other leg back, pike your bottom to the ceiling, downward facing dog. Let's pedal those legs. We're going to walk forwards again, finding that forward fold position. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, rounding forwards. Inhale, root down through your feet and rise to the sky.
Hands meet overhead, palms come together, and then exhale, hands come down through heart center and release. Inhale, reach, grow tall, palms reach overhead. As you exhale, forward fold and round all the way down. Inhale, find that halfway position, and exhale, round all the way down. Stepping one leg back and then the other to find your plank position. Now staying here in plank or coming down onto your knees if you prefer. We're going to do that elbow down to the floor, elbow down to the floor, back on your hand, back on your hand. So we're going to do 3 times here, and it's up to you whether you want to stay on your hands and knees or in that plank position. One more time and come back up. Ah, good job. All right. And then when you're ready, we're going to go into our downward facing dog. Pedal your feet here. And when you're ready, lower your knees down to the floor. Sit your bottom back towards your heels into child's pose. And take a couple of breaths here. Couple more breaths. From here, we're going to come onto our hands and knees. We're going to lower down onto our elbows and then lower your hips all the way down to the floor. Come down nice and safe. Staying here on your elbows, and I've got 2 little fists down into the mat. And we're going to think about our shoulder blades.
So we're going to think about letting our chest drop down towards the mat so your shoulder blades come together in your back, and then press your shoulder blades wide. Shoulder blades come together, shoulder blades wide. Do one more like that. And I'm going to keep those shoulder blades wide. We're going to turn our hands so the palms are down onto the floor, and try and have your elbow directly under your shoulder. So have a little look and just make sure that that's in a good position. And then we're going to press down into our hands and think about lifting our chest. So we're thinking about creating length through the front of your body. Nice long neck. Pulling your ribs into your body. It's very tempting in this position to rib thrust and to send your ribs forward. I want you to keep them pulled into your body so that we're getting a nice stretch and we're getting length, and we're not creating that shear of your lower back. Can you hold for a couple more breaths here? Really deep breath. And then we're going to release down. Bring your hands down and push yourself all the way back into child's pose. Take your bottom back towards your heels and just hold here. Few breaths. We're going to go into our thread the needle child's pose now. So take your right hand, thread it under your left armpit. Palm's going to face up towards the ceiling. And you can rotate your body around so that you're looking under that arm as well. Hold here, reaching that arm through. Taking those deep breaths. Take your left arm, lift it off the mat and take it around your back. So you're going to wrap that arm around your back, opening out this shoulder, opening out your left shoulder. And then from here, we're going to keep our hands in this position. We're going to keep our body twisted, but we're going to come up to seated. So you're in a seated twist. Hold here for a couple of breaths. With each exhale, see if you can twist just a little bit more, maybe. And then we're going to inhale, we're going to reach both arms up towards the ceiling. We're going to twist through centre. Exhale, twist to the other side and let your hands come down. Again into that twisted position, but just on the other side now. Hold here. And again with each exhale, you'll see if you can twist just a little bit more. And we're going to go back down towards the mat now. So we're going to come back down to child's pose. But you've still got your left arm is going across the front of your body in that thread the needle position. Your right arm is still wrapped around your back. Hold here. And then you'll take your right arm from behind your back. We'll reach that right arm all the way forwards and back down onto the mat. So you're back in that thread the needle position. A few breaths. And then we're going to take that left arm, bring it back through, place it back down onto the mat so you're back into your child's pose again. And hold here. From here we're going to come back up onto all fours and we're going to do our puppy pose here. So we're going to come down onto our elbows. Now you need to take a minute to make sure that your hips are directly above your knees. So notice if your bum isn't, back more towards your feet. So try and get your hips directly above your knees. You're down on your elbows. And then you're going to reach one arm forwards as far as you can. You're going to reach the other arm forwards as far as you can and then allow your body to come down towards the floor. You can rest your forehead down onto the mat if it will reach and if you're comfortable with that. And we're reaching forwards here. Take a few breaths. And then we're going to go back into child's pose. So start to slide your hands back, start to slide your bottom back towards your heels again. Open your arms out to kind of in a circle down towards your feet now. So you can have the backs of your hands resting alongside your feet, giving your shoulders a little rest. And then when you're ready, we're going to slowly come on up. And we're going to go over onto our back now. So coming over onto your back. And we're going to lie down with your knees bent and your feet flat. Just take a moment here, let your spine settle. Taking some deep breaths. And then we're going to lift the hips and slide your hips to the right a couple of inches. So slide your hips to the right. And then we're going to straighten out your left leg long on the floor. Bring your right leg into tabletop and we're going to roll all the way over onto our left side, bringing that right knee down onto the floor. Your left hand can come around to cradle your head. Makes it just a little bit more comfortable for you. And then we're going to take that right arm up towards the ceiling and we're going to stretch, make that arm as long as you can. Spread your fingers wide and we're going to take that arm overhead, bringing your thumb down towards the floor. And then when you're ready, slowly bring it back up towards the ceiling. So we're going to keep going with this, just moving that arm overhead and back up towards the ceiling. Really good. As your arm comes up towards the ceiling this time, we're going to hold it there. And we're going to take that arm back behind us this time. So start to allow your upper body to open out, your chest to twist, but keep your knee down on the floor. So only go as far as you can comfortably go, making sure you can still breathe, you can still speak here, and holding that arm out. let's just do a little arc with that arm behind you. So just moving that arm gently behind you. Just seeing what range of movement you have. Don't force anything. Just moving with your breath. Trying to be as relaxed as possible. And then when you're ready, slowly bring your arm back up towards the ceiling and then just gently lowering that arm down. Roll yourself onto your back. Just take a moment to bring your knees into your chest. Give your knees a little hug, maybe just rock gently side to side. Just do a little reset for your back. And then when you're ready, place your feet back down on the floor. You're going to lift your hips again and slide them to your left this time. And we're going to straighten out your right leg long on the floor, bringing your left leg into tabletop and rolling onto your right side, bringing that left knee down towards the floor. Right hand comes around to cradle your head. And we're going to take that left arm this time up towards the ceiling. Spread your fingers. And then start to take your arm over towards the floor, reaching your thumb towards the floor. And we're going to play with that movement a few times, nice and slow, nice and controlled. And don't worry if your thumb doesn't reach the floor, it doesn't matter. Just playing with the range that we have. And then as your arm comes back up towards the ceiling this time, again we're going to start to twist, taking that arm back behind you, but keeping your knee down on the floor. Once you're in your maximum position, again just hold for a breath or two here. And then start to gently move that arm around. Don't force it. Use your breath. And then when you're ready, you're going to gently bring your arm back up towards the ceiling and then just relax your arm down. Roll yourself carefully back onto your back. Bring your knees into your chest, give your knees a little hug, and again just rocking gently side to side. Placing your feet down onto the floor, feet and knees together. Take your arms out to the sides, palms are facing up towards the ceiling, rolling your chest and shoulders open. Take a breath. As you exhale, both knees roll to one side and you can let your head look the opposite way to your knees. Inhale as your knees come through center and exhale over to the other side. Just going from side to side. This feels good to you. Keeping your shoulder blades and the back of your rib cage anchored on the floor. As you come in through centre this time, we're going to pick up those legs into a tabletop position and do the same thing here. So maybe don't go as far to begin with because it's much more load and it's much more difficult to maintain that rib cage connection with the floor. And it's not about doing a big movement, it's about that mindful movement. Side to side. And then if you want to, you can bring your knees really close to your chest and do a little side to side there. As you come in through centre this time, we're going to take hold of the right leg and we're going to lengthen that left leg out long on the floor. Take that left leg all the way out straight. Pulling your right knee in towards you. Let's hold here for a few breaths. Really taking a deep breath. And as you exhale, just letting go of tightness of tension. Notice if you're gripping through the front of your hip on that left-hand side. Notice if you're holding your belly in. Are you creating tension around your shoulders, your jaw? Just look, all the places that you know that you hold tension, and see if you can find a little bit more softness there. And then we're going to bend that left leg now. So placing the foot down onto the floor. We're going to release the right leg and we're going to cross the right ankle over that left knee. So you're going into your number 4 stretch here. Opening out, sending that right knee as far away from you as you can. Take some deep breaths here. Now feel free to stay with your foot down on the floor, or you can float that standing leg up and hold behind your thigh. But then let that leg, that lower leg, just drop down so that your heel's coming down towards your bottom, so that you're not creating more tension by trying to hold that left leg in that tabletop position. Take some deep breaths. And then we're going to release that leg, but instead of taking it down towards the floor, we're going to start to reach that left foot away from you, straightening out that left leg, and then bend the knee to pull that back in towards you. And you're going to find it's going to give even more stretch on that right hand side. Try that again, straightening that leg out, and then pulling that knee back in towards you. So let's just do a few of those, and if it doesn't feel right for you, feel free to stay with one of the other positions that we just did. I kind of like these moving stretches sometimes. I feel like it allows me to find a little bit more movement, a little bit more stretch. And as you bring that leg in this time, lower your foot down onto the floor and just hold here for a moment. Don't run across your leg just yet. We're going to roll to now take that right foot down onto the floor. So roll all the way over to bring your right foot down onto the floor. And then notice if your right knee has dropped and it's pointing towards you. Can you try and get that right knee still pointing up towards the ceiling? I know it feels like a bit of a strange stretch. And then can you open your arms out into that T position and see if you can get both shoulder blades to anchor back down onto the floor. Like you've made your body into some kind of pretzel. Hold for a few breaths here. And then we're going to roll ourselves back onto our back. So you can use your elbows if you want to. You can kind of bend your arms. Use your elbows to leverage yourself back up onto your back. And then we're going to release that number 4 stretch. We're going to do the same on the other side. So when you're ready, we're going to straighten out your right leg long on the floor. You're going to bring your left knee in towards your chest and pull it in close towards you. Give it a good stretch. Again, just taking a few breaths here and letting go of anything that you're holding on to. So checking your jaw, your neck and shoulders, anywhere that you normally hold tension. How does it feel through the front of that right hip? When you're ready, we're going to bend that right knee, placing the foot down on the floor, releasing that left leg and crossing it into your number 4 stretch. And again, notice we want that knee to open out and to be as far away from you as you can. So if it's pointed towards your nose, send it away. You can use your hand if you want to give it a little bit more support. A few breaths here. And then again, you can float your standing leg up, or you can keep it down if you want to, and hold behind your thigh, letting the lower leg just drop down. Still opening that knee out to the side. And then again, letting go of that leg. You're going to lengthen that leg away from you and then pull it back in. So again, we're getting deeper into that number 4 stretch. As long as it feels okay for you, otherwise you can absolutely just stay with one of the other movements. Reach away, pulling it in. And as you come in this time, lowering your foot down onto the floor. Hold here for a couple of breaths, opening your knee out to the side. And then again, we're going to roll over to bring that sole of your foot down towards the floor. So roll yourself over, get your foot down on the floor. Notice again if your knee is dropping down towards your face and sending that knee up towards the ceiling. Quite a big stretch through your hip. And then again, can you open your arms out to that T? Trying to anchor both shoulder blades down onto the floor. Think pretzel. Hold here for a few breaths. And then when you're ready, again, use your elbows to roll yourself onto your back. Release your leg, pull both knees into your chest. We're going to go into our cobbler stretch from here. So bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees roll out to the sides. Take a few breaths. Reaching your arms up towards the ceiling. Interlace your fingers and flip your hands over, pressing your palms to the ceiling to stretch. Keeping your ribs down, start to take your arms overhead towards the floor. When you're ready, slowly bring your hands back up towards the ceiling. Bring your fingers apart, give your fingers a wriggle. Circle in at your wrist. And reverse, let's go the other way. Gently pull in each finger in turn back to stretch out your fingers, stretch out your hands. Give them a little wriggle again. Let your arms just relax down. And then when you're ready, bringing your knees together. We're going to roll over onto our front now. So coming down onto your front for quad stretch. So relax all the way down and then bend one knee. Reach your hand back to grab your ankle. Oof. And just hold here. Sorry, I dropped the microphone. So, as always, you're trying to get your hip as kind of flush down to the mat as you can. So notice whether you've had to lift your bottom away from the mat in order to get yourself into this quad stretch position. See if you can find space through the front of your hip to relax down. And then if that quad stretch is feeling like it's a little bit easy for you now, you can take the palm of your hand and pop it onto the top of your foot, onto the front part of your foot, so that your elbow is pointing up towards the ceiling. So you're kind of getting a shoulder stretch as well. and getting deeper into that quad stretch. Otherwise you can stay just holding onto your ankle. Couple more breaths here. And then when you're ready, releasing that leg. We're going to do the same on the other side, so bending your other knee. You're taking your hand back to grab your ankle. Seeing if you can find more space through the front of your hip. Allowing your pelvis to release down into the floor. And then again, you can stay here, or you can take your hand and rest the palm on the front or the top of your foot, elbow pointing towards the ceiling. So you're getting a little bit deeper in the quad and also getting a little sneaky shoulder stretch too. And then when you're ready, release that leg. We're going to go back to the first side and we're going to bend the knee out to the side this time. So slide your knee out along the floor and out to the side. And again, we're trying to relax the pelvis down towards the mat. So notice again whether you've had to lift your hip away from the floor. See if you can find space and relax it down here. Again, we're not forcing it. We're taking deep breaths and releasing, letting go of tension. With each exhale, imagine your body sinking down into the floor. And then straighten out that bent leg. So instead of it being bent, it's now out straight. Again, just trying to relax down and sink down into the floor. So this is so good for releasing any tension through the inner thighs, really good for the mobility of your hips. And it's quite relaxing as well. When you're ready, we're going to just bend that knee and then just bring that leg all the way back in. We're going to do the same on the other side, so taking your other knee out to the side. Again, trying to get your pelvis as flush down into the floor as you can. Noticing if you've had to lift your hip away from the floor, and can you find more space to relax it back down? Just noticing if it feels different on this side to the other side. Is there anywhere that you're holding on to? Is there anywhere that you can let go of tension and tightness? This is a passive stretch, so just getting your body into position and breathing and relaxing is going to give you all the benefits that you need so that you don't have to try and do anything other than just lie here. How about if we straighten out that bent leg now? So instead of it being bent, it's just out straight. And again, you're just relaxing down. And then when you're ready, bend your knee. Bring that leg all the way back in. Push yourself up and back into child's pose. Take your bottom back towards your heels and reaching your arms forwards. Coming up onto all fours now. We're going to do cat-cow. Spread your fingers wide, thumbs point towards each other and elbow pits are forwards. Take a breath in. As you exhale, tuck your bottom under and round through your spine. Get your spine as rounded as you can. Your head is the last thing to move. When you're ready, take a breath in, and as you exhale, let's go the other way. Stick your bottom out. Again, rolling through your spine. Imagine you can bring your chest through your arms, and again your head is the last thing to move. Just move with the flow of breath now. You're moving on your exhale, starting at your tailbone and finishing at the top of your head. Again, as much movement there as you can. But try to let the movement flow. Think like a wave rippling up your spine. Smooth. And as you come back in through centre this time, hold it there. From here we're going to find that downward facing dog again. So we're going to take one leg back and tuck your toes under. Take the other leg back, tuck your toes under so you're in your plank position, and then pike your bottom up towards the ceiling. Let's pedal our feet again here. And then walk your feet towards your hands again. And we're in that forward fold, that hang position. Soften your knees. Can you bend your arms to grab opposite elbows and just hang here, holding onto your elbows. And maybe it feels nice to just kind of move around a little bit. You can just gently swing side to side. You can just nod your head, just whatever feels good to you. They call this a rag doll. So feel like you're a little rag doll and you're just hanging like you've got no bones at all. You're just all super floppy. From here, we're going to let go of the arms. You're going to press down through your feet, rooting down into the floor, and inhale, start to rise up, opening your arms out. Reaching your arms up towards the ceiling, bring your hands together. And as you exhale, bring your hands down through centre. And just release your hands there. Shift your hips to one side. Shift your hips to the front, shift your hips to the other side, and back. Let's go around in our little circle again, trying to get as much movement there as you can. Imagine you've got a big hula hoop, slow motion hula hoop. Let's reverse and go the other way. And as you come in through centre this time, hold it there. Let your arms go, super floppy arms, and we're just going to twist side to side, letting your arms just go where they want to go. You can let your pelvis twist here, kind of coming up onto your toes a little bit, so rather than being rigid and not letting your lower body move, just let everything go. Super floppy. Coming back in through centre, let's inhale, reach up towards the ceiling, grow super tall, and then exhale, just let your arms come all the way down. Let's go again, inhale, reach, grow super tall, and then exhale, let it go one more time, reach, grow super tall, and exhale, shake it out, shake your legs, shake your arms, shake your head. You guys are done. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope that was okay. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you kind of feel a bit invigorated, a bit stretched, a bit like you've done a bit of everything.